Okay, today we start with the first chapter, database concepts. This is the outline of the first chapter, the introduction of database, the importance of database design, the evolution of file system data processing, problems with file system data processing, database systems, and preparing for your database professional career. So the objective of this chapter is to differentiate between data and information, to define about database, to know about various types of databases, database as valuable assets for decision making, to know about the importance of database design, the evolution from file systems to modern databases, flaws in file system data management, main components of the database system, main functions of a database management system. So first of all, what you need to know is data versus info. Okay, so actually from data, it can be transformed into info, and finally info transform into knowledge. Okay, so first let's try to see the difference between data and info. So data can be defined as raw facts and figures that on their own have no meaning, represents unorganized and unprocessed facts, static in nature, no context, just numbers and text. Okay, while for info, data that has been processed within a context to give it meaning, data that has been processed into a form that give it meaning, and value added to data, summarize, organize, analyze. Okay, let's try to see the examples of data. Okay, this is examples of data. For example, you have yes, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes response from the users. Okay, or you have only 42, 63, 96, 74, 56, 86, and these two numbers also. So what can be said about this data? None of the above data sets have any meaning until they are given a context and processed into a useful or usable form. So data needs to be turned into meaningful information and presented in its most useful format. Data must be processed in a context in order to give it meaning. Okay, so let's try to see what does it mean by context. Okay, this is how we turn data into info. So from yes, yes, no, yes, no, yes, and so on. Okay, this is raw data. Okay, the raw data can be given certain context so that it can be transformed into information. Okay, so if this raw data is given this context, okay, for example, response to the market research question. Okay, for example, the question is, would you buy brand X at price Y? Okay, so yes, no, yes, no. This yes, no refers to the response from the market research question. Okay, so what kind of information can be derived from this raw data given this context? Okay. Okay. Next, the same thing. Okay, we have the previous shown raw data 42, 63, 96, 74, 56, 86. Nothing can be concluded from this raw data unless it is given the context. So if the context for this raw data is Jamal scores in the 6 ICT modules, there must be certain information that can be derived for this raw data. Okay. The next one, let's say we have these two numbers. Okay. Also without any meaningful idea unless it is given certain context. If the context is the previous and current readings of a customer's electricity meter, of course, there must be certain information can be derived for this raw data with this context. Okay. Next, we move to the third term. Just now we have data, we have info, definition for data, definition for info. Now we go to definition of knowledge. Okay, knowledge can be defined as human understanding of a subject matter that has been acquired through proper study and experience. So a combination of information, experience, and insight that may benefit the individual or the organization, usually based on learning, thinking, and proper understanding of the problem area, derived from information in the same way information is derived from data. Understanding of information based on its perceived importance or relevance to a problem area, the integration of human perceptive processes that helps them to draw meaningful conclusion. Okay, examples of knowledge. Okay, on example 1, a marketing manager could use this information to decide whether or not to raise or lower price. So, yang ni berkait dengan example kita yang tadi, data dengan konteks dan info. Okay, so based on the raw data just now, okay, we have this one. Based on the raw data, yes, yes, no, yes, and so on. Okay, given this context, okay, the context is the responses to the market research. Okay, what kind of information can be derived? So maybe the marketing manager can calculate how many response is yes, how many response is no. Okay, so if the response of yes is more than the response of no, then the marketing manager, he or she can derive certain conclusion. Okay, a marketing manager could use this information to decide whether or not to raise or lower price. Why? Okay, the same thing with second example just now. Okay, we have JAMA score. Okay, this is the JAMA score in the 6 ICT modules. Okay, so what can be derived? What info can be derived from this raw data? Okay, so could convert, sorry. Okay, so Jamal's teacher could analyze the result to determine whether it would be worth for him to resit the module. Okay, so the teacher will analyze, okay, whether the marks is satisfying or not. Okay, to decide whether Jamal needs to resit for a module. Okay, based on this raw data with this context, certain info can be derived by the teacher. And also, the third example, looking at the pattern of the customer's previous electricity bills may identify that the figure is abnormally low and they are fiddling the electricity meter. Okay, for example 1, could add up the yes and no responses and calculate the percentage of customers who would buy product X at price Y. The information could be presented as a chart. So from the raw data, we give it some context and we can turn it into information. And then from the information, we can upgrade it into knowledge. Okay, maybe the information can be presented as a chart. Okay, or for example 2, we could convert the individual module result into grades. Okay, A, B, C, and so on. And for example 3, the electricity bill. Okay, by subtracting the second value from the first, we can work out how many units of electricity the consumer has used, then can be multiplied by the price per unit to determine the customer's electricity bill. So dari bill elektrik tadi, okay, daripada unit yang digunakan, kita boleh multiply, dapatkan berapa bayaran yang perlu dibayar. Okay, so you boleh nampak daripada raw data kita tambahkan konteks, dia akan bertukar menjadi information, dan daripada information dia menjadi knowledge. Okay, yang membolehkan certain decision to be made, okay, by the respective person. Okay, So this is the summary of the process. So raw data plus with context plus with certain meaning, it will become information. Okay. So these are the characteristics of valuable info. Okay, accessible, accurate, complete, economical, flexible. So accessible means it can be easily accessible by the authorized users so they can obtain it in the right format and the right time to meet their needs. Okay. Accurate means error-free. Okay. Inaccurate information is generated because inaccurate data is fed into the transformation process. Okay. So this shouldn't be happen. Okay. Complete. Complete information contains all the important facts. For example, an investment report that does not include all important costs is not complete. Okay. Economical. What does it mean by economical? Should be relatively economical to produce. Okay, decision makers must always balance the value of information with the cost of producing it. And flexible. Okay, flexible information can be used for a variety of purposes. For example, information on how much inventory is on hand for a particular part can be used by sales representative in closing a sale, by production manager to determine whether more inventory is needed, and by a financial executive to determine the total value the company has invented. Okay, next we have another 6 valuable info, characteristics for valuable info. Relevant. Relevant means important, means showing the lumber information showing that lumber prices might drop might not be relevant to a computer chip manufacturers. Okay, make sure the info is relevant to the matters. Okay, reliable means can be depended on. In many cases, the reliability of the information depends on the reliability of the data collection methods. Okay, in other instances, reliability depends on the sources of the information. Okay, a rumor or from an unknown source that oil prices might go up might not be reliable. Next, secure. Secure means couldn't be accessed by unauthorized users. Okay, macam you nak access markah you, hanya you je yang boleh tengok your result. Okay, not other students. Okay, simple. Information should be simple, not overly complex. Sophisticated and detailed information might not be needed. Too much info can cause information overload, whereby a decision maker has too much information and is unable to determine what is really important. So kalau information tu terlalu complex, it might be difficult for the decision maker untuk to make decision. Okay, timely. Timely information is delivered when it is needed. Okay, knowing last week's weather conditions will not help when trying to decide what coat to wear today. Okay, maksudnya information yang kita dapat tu perlulah in a timely manner. Okay, and verifiable. Okay, information should be verifiable. This means that you can check it to make sure it is correct, perhaps by checking many sources for the same information.